All right, let's do it live on a vivid First Friday edition of the program, or actual Football Friday edition of the program. Hi, Z.
I think
how you doing?
I think the best of the show's already happened.
It's already happened. It's already happened. The
next
level
level's
is
next.
We'll see you on Monday on a reaction.
We got to help get the kids to college, so we'll still do the scores.
You're welcome.
On. Yeah, you're welcome. Easy last night. Easy. We were talking about it.
That's fine. I just don't feel confident about this week after yesterday's guess.
Started 1-0.
He even got his click on right. He got his spike on.
Good job.
See, you got to give.
Good
job, Give it.
He's smushing me in the over-unders.
Scores, over-unders.
We had Chat GPT verified that I just...
Yeah, you took great umbrage. In fact, you questioned the process, the sanctity of the process.
No, I didn't
of the
question
over-unders?
it. I'm just telling you, when I was in the booth, that was the one I was happy about that. I was like, all right, Lamar is over. Good. At least I got that. Because I knew the Henry one, I kept turning around and be like, the guy's averaging 70 yards a carry. They're not going to give him any more carries. Watch. And sure enough. Yeah. I thought maybe on the last show we could, but there wasn't enough time to have a surprise draw that goes for 15.
No, you needed that to make it happen. Yeah. All right, welcome in.
By the way, can I just say something?
Oh, please, you can say whatever you like. You're the franchise.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
But after what happened with Kyle Pitts a week ago.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm referencing?
No.
Okay, so Kyle Pitts showboated in the end zone with the ball behind him, and Antoine Winfield Jr. almost got it out. It was a touchdown. Knowing how the NFL works, or at least I know how our organization works, I guarantee that was shown to our team. Do not do this. Get into the end zone. The classic, you don't score till you score.
Till you score, yeah.
Till you score.
Yeah, striker.
So that was shown around the league, and I think it'd probably be a safe bet to believe or to assume that was also shown to the Jets players this week.
Yeah.
Because when things like that happen, hey, let's make sure we don't do this. And then to have somebody do it, a rookie who had never scored, like what's so cool about dropping the ball right when you get over the line? Why is that cooler than running to the back, then dropping it or spiking it or doing this? I don't get it. I don't understand it. I thought that was going to cost us the scores, by the way.
I was worried that it was going to as well. Thankfully, Garrett Wilson, that's an all-timer.
He's got to.
He is so underutilized because of Rodgers.
Yes,
like with a real quarterback, he would be nuts.
Currently an Adidas guy. He needs to immediately, like tomorrow, become a Jordan guy. That is the football. Yes. It is perfect.
It is perfect.
He has now. They can do a football jump man. It's the opposite. It's perfect.
Yep.
This is. Come on.
It's a good job out of you.
I can't say that. It's everywhere. Everybody.
No, I know, but I would like to give you credit.
Thank you.
Let me ask you this,
please.
So this is. Let me just tell you this. This is my theory on the dropping of the ball thing.
Okay.
I think that they lose track of where they are on the field. I don't know that they're trying to think it's cool to like drop the ball necessarily. Like as soon. I don't think it's a
how
touchdown
would you
celebration.
lose track of where you are on the field?
You're going so fast and it's happening so fast, and in peripheral you see the pylon and you just drop it. I don't think it's them trying to be cool. It's stupid. I'm not suggesting
if you can look ahead of you and see the rest of the end zone, you're not in the end zone.
You're not in the end zone. I understand. But they're going so fast that I think it's just like it feels like I made it and you just got to go like this. And the reality is, and Palazzolo had the best tweet of this. I don't know if you saw him last night.
I did not.
So Palazzolo goes, Bo knows, and it's Bo in Seattle running up
into the tunnel.
Up the ramp. That's when you drop the ball. Go all the way through, then drop it, and then you're in the clear. You're safe.
Yes. By the way, Stroud does not look good right now.
He was 11 of 30. A couple of weeks ago in Green Bay, he wasn't like a 9 of 28 or something. It ain't good at all. And I'm shocked by it.
There's a part of me that if Nico Collins comes back and it goes back to normal all of a sudden, that if I was Nico Collins, I'd say maybe I should get quarterback money.
Yeah,
because
it might be me.
It might be me. Yeah, Joe Mixon's playing great, so they can run it.
And he's running hard
and well.
So
it's not because they can't run it. Mm-mm. And then he does make some ridiculous throws. The one when he rolled left and hit Dell down the field was absurd.
Yeah,
but it doesn't look good.
No, it doesn't. It's very, very strange. Final practice for our team is going up on right now. It will wrap here in about 10 minutes or so. Practicing today, Denzel Ward, David Njoku, Joel Bitonio. what do you make of Denzel? Can you this would be like just an NFL rules standpoint. Is he out of the protocol?
I mean,
if he's practicing,
that wouldn't put him out of the protocol. That's a stage in the protocol that you have to be able to do this and then not have symptoms.
Okay, so that's one of the last stages is you have to have a practice in full.
I think when we talk about Denzel, and I am not a neurosurgeon, so I take this with or a neurologist, so take this with a whole can of salt if you want. It just seems as though Denzel Ward's concussions in this case, because I was also on the sideline his rookie year when CJ Uzoma trucked him and he was on another planet, and that concussion affected him for a long, long time.
Yes.
These ones that have been happening from kind of falling to the ground, it just feels like they do not impact him the way that we have become accustomed to thinking of concussions, certainly not with like Tua Tagovailoa.
Right.
So I don't know. I'm sure he's got the best doctors looking at him and taking care of him and all of that. It's very scary when you're hearing the numbers, but he seems – I mean, we saw him in training camp when the Vikings were here. Remember, he was not able because it was a one-on-one where he got the concussion there, and he's joking with us on the side the next day and seems completely fine. So it's a very scary thing to be sure, but he seems to be affected differently than I think when you hear, oh, man, this guy's had a what you would expect that to look like.
Yes. Same. That's
externally, because I'm not
we have
looking
no
at his
idea.
brain.
But like you talked to him earlier in the week, and he's been around, and there are certainly no ill effects, and he's getting the best care, and yet here he is. So that's great news. David Njoku and Bitonio back,
which we said we knew that was going to be. So it says still not practicing blank. Jordan Hicks practice?
I don't know if I saw an update on that.
Okay. My guess is probably no.
Stand by.
That'd be our guy Mohamoud getting in there,
This is the one that you always circle if you practice on a Friday.
Not practicing JOK Jordan Hicks.
Okay, there you go. There's that side of it. The Chargers coming to town this weekend for this one. It's interesting because the Jets were in the position last night. We are going to be in tomorrow, which is the position of if you win a game, it allows for you to continue to have hope. It allows for you to continue to push forward with the idea of who the heck knows what's going to happen. Maybe we can make a run at this thing. It allows you to play meaningful games in December. So that's what's at stake.
That's exactly right.
And I think there was a big value in that for the Jets last night. And when you look in the AFC, I got news for you, folks. Like 9-8 might do it. Not to say that we're going to go 7-2 the rest of the way. That would be the minimum requirement. But, buddy, when you look at these standings, it's in play that 9-8 might be enough in the AFC.
Yes, and that's what we talked about yesterday. That's I think where you've got to be, right? And you're going to have to probably to get there to give yourself a fighting chance. You got to probably get to 5-6, which means you win here. You have the bye week. You win in New Orleans, and then on Thursday night at home, in what could put you at 2-1 in the division, you beat the Steelers. That's what it's going to take, but it can only start with winning one. Because one of the things you got to think about is it's good and bad, right? The bad is you went 0-4 against the NFC East. The good is that means you're still 2-2 in the conference. And you have the opportunity to have a better conference record than many of your peers and certainly many of the teams that you're currently chasing. One of the teams you are chasing for a wild card spot plays you this Sunday.
That's right. It's a 2-gamer.
So it is a massive, massive game in that regard for the Cleveland Browns. To beat the Chargers, it gives you another conference win. It gives them a conference loss, obviously a head-to-head win over them, but that's a team that you're going to be chasing. The Chiefs are going to win that division. So you're chasing the Chargers, you're chasing the Broncos, you're chasing the Steelers and or Ravens. One of those two is going to win the division most likely. You're still chasing the Bengals who beat you head-to-head. And that's probably that. Then the Jets, I guess, are still in the mix. Yes, Andrew.
Oh, hello, sir.
Yes.
Hi, I'm just hanging here.
Good to see you.
Can I interrupt? I apologize.
Please do.
There were, I dug this up this morning, 2 3-6 teams that made the playoffs last year. 2 teams were 3-6 and made the playoffs.
Can we widen out this camera so we can include him with his knowledge?
No, I don't need it.
Yet. We don't have that type of technology
yet.
This
is not my research. The Green Bay Packers.
There he is.
And the Los Angeles Rams of Los Angeles both were 3-6 last year and ended up in the postseason. Thank you. Back to your show.
So you're saying there's a chance.
And there's a chance. More like 1 in a million. Division leaders: Bills, Steelers, Texans, Chiefs. Take them out. Here are the teams 500 or better.
Yep.
Chargers 4-3, Broncos 5-3, Colts 4-4, Ravens 5-3. That's it. That's the list.
That's the list. So now you got to keep pace with the Jets, who are 3-6. Mm-hmm. The Bengals are 3-5.
Yep.
And that's it, right? The Dolphins are 2-6.
Dolphins are 2-6.
Yeah.
2-5 for Miami.
I got to tell you,
5.
In retrospect, obviously, the Vegas one is such a bad loss. It's such a bad loss.
Oh gosh.
And it shouldn't have been for a variety of reasons, but that's one that if this doesn't go well, that 2-game stretch of Giants
Vegas, dude, was
brutal.
Yeah. I mean, those are the two because when those had to be.
Yeah.
Had to be.
Well, and you're
at home against a Giants team that's not much, and it's like
at home,
handle your business. You score first.
You're up 7-0 in 50. You basically started the game
Yeah.
with a 7-point handicap.
Right.
Advantage.
Yeah. And didn't we pick him off? But they got quarterback roughing that.
Yeah, that was great. That changed
Everything. You could have walked in 14-0. Yeah. Yeah. So those are the two that you lament. Are those two losses? All that to be said, there's still plenty to play for here for this operation. How did you do on your Thanksgiving? Did you hand out some candy?
On my Halloween, I did. But I
called it first Friday. I called it Thanksgiving.
You're in November.
My wife was playing Christmas music this morning.
Did you see?
That's bold play.
Somebody.
I disagree. Here's my thing on this is where I am with the holidays.
Yeah.
Whatever makes you happy.
Agreed.
You want to leave your tree up until February? God bless.
Dude.
Live. It's whatever you want, man.
Thing.
Whatever you want.
It's not for me. The sun's not going to come out again for another 10 weeks anyways.
If it's going to make you happy, make you happy. It's not for me. I can't start it now.
Right.
But God bless her. So how'd it go on Halloween?
It was good. We had some people come by, gave out a lot of candy. It was great. It was lovely.
We had we split up. NBC running amok with his people and being delinquents. I assume no crimes were committed, but I'm not sure of it.
Well, as long as you have plausible deniability.
Yeah, they're howling at the moon.
Yep.
That's where that pack of young boys going howling at the moon. Beamsy was with AIM, and so they did a neighborhood, and they did it great. And then I was with Boots, and we crushed a neighborhood and one of his little buddies, and that was all great. I saw for the first time in a very long time one entire family dressed as Wizard of Oz and another Dorothy and Wicked Witch combo. And I thought, I haven't seen a Wizard of Oz thing since like I was a kid because we all had to watch it. And you guys know how I feel about it. I think it sucks.
I don't know about that.
No, I think it sucks. That's subjective. I think Wizard of Oz sucks. I hated watching it as a kid, and I had to watch it. It scared me. I had no interest. I thought it sucked.
Those flying monkeys terrified me.
Of course they terrified you. She terrified you. My kids have not seen it. They have not seen Wizard of Oz.
Okay.
But I think that there's a Wicked thing coming.
Well, there is.
That's where I was
which
going.
is supposed
Wicked,
to be,
the movie, is coming out here this holiday.
Plus, there were references in Agatha all along as well.
What's Agatha all along, Kev?
Great show.
That is
great show.
Yeah, it's a great show. It is a great show. That's the extension of WandaVision with the Agatha Harkness, the evil.
I don't know
She's
what any
the
of that
purple
is.
witch.
What's
No
WandaVision?
Wanda, the Scarlet Witch.
What's
the
that?
Avengers. You need to get your kids. Will definitely. You could take
I'm
them
not
on
there
a
yet.
whole journey through the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and they will love it.
Okay, that's all like series?
Well, there's movies. There's
Yeah.
like 30. There
There's
may be
movies.
30.
Well, I've seen all the Avengers movies up to Endgame. I've seen
Yeah,
all
but there's
those.
more than just
There's
the Avengers.
post-Endgame stuff?
There's
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I haven't seen any stuff post-Endgame.
But there's also stuff beyond just like all the Doctor Strange stuff, Ant-Man and the Wasp.
yeah, I've seen all those.
Okay, so you've seen all that.
All that. I've seen
Thor's.
Thor. I've seen all the Thors, all the Captain Americas, all the Iron.
Okay.
We did it all during COVID.
Okay.
We saw all that stuff.
Yeah,
But
so-
I've never heard of
So
this.
now the series. Okay, you need to watch Loki.
Okay.
You need to watch WandaVision. You need to watch Agatha all along. The winner. What's the one? Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier. Yep.
Yeah, that's good too. I'd put that
Those
in
are
there.
all in
Yeah,
there?
that's good too because that ties in, and they all tie into the movies.
Into that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Loki's great. Owen Wilson's in Loki.
Yeah, I like that guy.
Oh, he's everything you want him to
Look
be.
at that. Look at that crew neck sweatshirt out there. That's an old school one there.
That must be from the
That's got to be the
I've gotta
vintage
pull you.
collection.
what?
I got to pull you.
Why? I'm not pork.
Duty calls.
I do love pulled pork, though. Nice.
Those are your hot topics of the day. They're presented by
baby.
University Hospitals,
Carnitas.
official healthcare partner of your Cleveland Browns. Coming up next, we go one-on-one with Mohamoud Diabate. That's coming up. Coach at the podium as well. We're off and running on a Football Friday. Cleveland Browns Daily, 850 ESPN Cleveland. Leaf Filter, the official gutter guard of your Cleveland Browns. Go to leaffilter.com/GoBrowns to schedule a free gutter inspection and to receive your exclusive promo offer. Call 833-LEAF-FILTER today. And now here is Z with Mohamoud Diabate.
Very happy to be joined.
You're down.
Linebacker Mohamoud Diabate. Mohamoud coming off a career-high 9 tackles, flying all over the field. How did it feel to get out there, kind of be in the game, put that stuff on tape against the Baltimore Ravens?
It was a great feeling. You know, those are the moments you always look forward to. You prepare yourself for. So it was a great feeling to get out there with all the other guys, the Myles Garretts, the Denzel Wards, and, you know, put on a good performance.
Do you feel like your confidence is kind of on the rise? You're getting more extended action, big hit against Cincinnati, flying around the 9 tackles, as I mentioned right there. Quite frankly, I thought you had a sack. They took it away. Zadarius gave him a little pat on the butt and got the sack from you there. But just flying around, do you feel comfortable in this defense?
Yeah, I feel comfortable. I feel like I can play fast. You know, that's how as a Coach Schwartz and Coach Tarver. putting in a great defense and allowing me to feel like I can fly around and make plays.
What's the biggest difference for you now from, let's say, a year ago?
As a rookie, you're still trying to figure a lot of things out. You don't know what to expect coming into your first year, so everything kind of hits you by a storm. But when you get that first off season, you have a chance to really sit down and study yourself and understand what you need to get better at for the next year. So I definitely feel like that was a difference for this year.
And I know nobody wants to miss time, but maybe was it a little helpful kind of in the season, you go down after week 1, to be able to just observe everything and really soak it in game situations? Because when you came back, it really felt like you hit the ground running.
Yeah, it was, when you get hurt, you never want that to happen. But when you sit back, you got to sit back and think, what's the best that I can get out of this? So, sit back, get my body right, and also, keep my mental sharp. Watching film every day like I'm playing in the game. So when the time does come to playing the game, it's like it's a lot more comfortable than if you haven't.
What's it like being in the middle of that defense?
It feels great. I'm surrounded by great players. I got great coaches. Got a great DC giving me the call on the headset. It's exciting to get out there and make plays with those boys.
What's his style when he's calling the plays? And is it very matter of fact? Is he giving you some pointers while he's saying, think about this? What's that like?
Yeah. He'll give you the play call, but he also gives you some pointers and different things to look out for, different things to tell the D-line or the safeties, things like that. So, it's business. So it's matter of fact. Like, hey, this is the play. Tell this guy this guy that, and let's ride.
And let's ride. What's it with a guy like Jordan Hicks here, who knows the system, veteran, 5 straight 100-tackle seasons. He's missing sometimes, but he's there for you on the sideline. What's it been like having him as kind of maybe a second coach for you?
Yeah, it's been great. Just like you said, he's been kind of a second coach. Before I've been playing, ever since he's came in, he's been giving me tips, different things to look at, whether it's the formation, down the distance, things to key. And when we come off on the sideline, he's always giving us more tips that he's observing from the game. So it's been I can't even state the value that Jordan Hicks has brought to me personally and the defense as a whole.
That's awesome, right? Because when you get somebody new in, it's a new face in the locker room, but when they mesh so well and they're so giving of themselves, right? It's at the end of the day, it's a competition. Everybody wants to be out there all the time, but when you have somebody who's willing to share that knowledge, that goes a long way.
Yeah, he's a selfless guy. It just comes from being a family man. He's a family man, selfless guy. He wants to see those around him succeed as well, and I'm incredibly grateful for him.
Well, we're certainly grateful for you. I wanted to ask you, when was the last time you played Mike linebacker prior to being with the Browns?
I played Mike linebacker, a little bit of Mike in college, but
But you were like on the edge. You were Sam rushing.
I played a lot more versatile. So it's new, but I feel like the skills that my parents and my coaches gave me in the past, I've been able to handle it, pretty easily. It hasn't been too concerning. It's what I'm comfortable doing at this point.
And that's great, right? Because you're in the middle of it all. You're the one making the checks. You're getting everybody lined up. And it almost probably is helpful. You have to know not just what you're supposed to be doing, but everybody else. So it helps you understand your role in whatever the big picture is even
Definitely.
better.
Being the mic, you have to tell people different things. So it definitely gives you a sense of what's going on in the whole picture and not just your part. So I definitely feel like that's been a help. It's been an aid for me, and it's allowed me to have an understanding of what's going to happen, who's going to be where, so I can understand exactly where I need to be.
All right, when you get ready to play the Chargers, very different than the Ravens, but they're going to run the ball.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a lot of power. It's going to be straight ahead, physical run game. And I know you love physicality. Is this the kind of matchup that you get excited for? Because it's going to come down to a lot of what's happening up front, and then the guys in the second level making the plays.
Yeah, I love any team that's playing us to run the ball. I love playing against them. That's a linebacker-friendly game. I'm excited for it to happen. I'm excited to compete against them. A lot of respect for their coaches and their players, and I'm excited to compete with them on Sunday.
How much more comfortable are you in your zone drops now and playing the pass? Got that pass defense last week. It looked like you were mad at yourself that you wanted to pick it off, but that was a darn good play.
Yeah. To everybody, it might be a good play, but it was a bad play to me. I feel like I could have changed the game in an even bigger way right there. Took that ball, and I don't think nobody would have caught me to the end zone. So I'm looking forward to turning those pass deflections into interceptions and helping my team even more.
Well, we certainly would love to see that. Do you have, if you were to take one to the house, have you already thought about what that might look like?
Yeah, that's something.
You got a celebration? Okay.
That's something you always visualize. I'm not really one to plan celebrations. I just kind of let the emotions flow. So we'll see. We'll see what happens when it happens.
It was emotional on Sunday, wasn't it? I mean, obviously Jim Donovan and all of that hanging over this game, and there was some magic in the air that day. Did you guys feel that down on the field?
Yeah, definitely felt the magic. I remember telling somebody after one play, I was like, "Hey man, God with us today." So Jim Donovan looking down on, we appreciate him and everything he's done for the Browns organization, and we just want to keep it going, to keep stacking, making him and the rest of the fans proud.
Let's get one more, Mohamoud. Thanks for the time. Best of luck on Sunday.
Thank you, sir.
All right, good stuff out of Z and Mohamoud Diabate on that one as the Browns and Chargers inch closer by Sunday. Gibbe, do you have an injury?
I don't.
I don't see one either.
I'm kind of surprised that we don't because practice has been over here for a little bit.
Yeah. It's usually the time where you get that. Read at work with, quote, Wizard of Oz sucks, which is something I absolutely believe to be factual. Quite possibly the best take in the history of this storied program. I don't get the intrigue of on every level. I think if you have the full on every level, I think it's there.
Now, if you could take the former Thursday Night NFL crew and remake The Wizard of Oz,
be pretty good.
I mean, you might have something. So did the boys even know about The Wizard of Oz?
No. I mean, I think they know it exists, but they never seen it. I didn't make them watch it. When you were our age, you had to. It was on like sometime in October in the lead up to Halloween, and it was on network television, and you watched it, and you sat as a family and watched it, and I hated it every year. When I was very little, I could never sleep well. The witch scared me to death. Those stupid monkeys scared me.
The flying monkeys
were terrifying. And I thought it sucked, that the whole thing sucked.
If you were forced to watch one, because both of these were staples on the network television holiday circuit.
Yeah.
Sound of Music or Wizard of Oz?
Give me Sound of Music.
Wizard of Oz.
The hills are alive.
I'll take the Sound of Music. Yeah. Julie Andrews bouncing around, those kids. I mean, I'm in.
Okay.
Yeah. You got a little World War II
You hate
intrigue.
it that much.
No, I thought it sucked. Every time, and I'd have to watch it, and it was, okay, we got to watch The Wizard of Oz. This is great. No, is it? Are we sure that it's great?
I thought it was fine.
You thought it was fine.
I don't have a hatred for it.
I don't have it. I don't ever think about it, but I thought about it because of Halloween, and I saw these Dorothys and witches and such. Probably because. And by the way, I saw Wicked. But we went. It was down at Ohio Theater in Columbus, and Aim and I took my mom and dad 15 years ago, and it was awesome.
It's an amazing production.
Awesome. Yeah, it was great. But yeah, I just didn't do much for me. How was yours? Do you have some trick or treaters?
3.
You know what?
I live on a street that is jam-packed with houses, but in Olmsted Falls, it's all about the developments.
Yeah. I think
going to get the score in the development. Now, that being said, there is an airing of grievances with my wife I have yet to do. There will be.
It's coming?
Oh, it's coming. So my wife decides, like, I have the Stefanski show last night.
Yeah, of course.
Now, I don't have to peek behind the curtain. I can remotely produce it.
Yeah, right.
Because everybody's working from home.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, fine. I can do that. But normally I like to be in the studio in case something happens. I can pop on the mic. I can fill in if there's a technical issue, any of that. My wife's like, hey, I need you to work from home. And I was like, okay, everything all right? She's like, yeah, like a bunch of her friends and all of their moms were all going out for mani-pedis. And so the rest of all the men had to be
on Candy Patrol.
So I go, what am I handing out? She hands me like a thing of like mini bags of pretzels. I'm like, honey, this is how our house gets egged.
You're exactly right.
100%.
Can't have mini bags of pretzels?
No, there's more to this, but I believe the head coach is coming to the podium.
Yes, all right, here you go. Here's Coach Stefanski.
Okay, excited to be
You're down.
Fans Sunday. AFC opponent, good team, so going to be a great challenge for this football team. We're excited for it. Take any questions you guys got.
How did you see Joel respond out there to the foot, especially with the cooler temperatures today?
Yeah, I thought he looked better. He's obviously, like a lot of guys at this point in November football, you're not feeling perfect, but he's feeling better, I think.
With Denzel, does he still need one more hurdle to cross in the protocol?
That's right.
Be the day.
Correct.
What was it like, though, to see him back out there today and making good progress?
Yeah, great to see Denzel out there. He's been engaged in the meetings and the walkthroughs, those type of things, so he's doing a nice job staying on top of everything.
Kevin, has Jeremiah been around the building this week?
Yes, he has. He's doing better. Obviously, he continues to talk to the doctors and work through the rehab and all those type of things, but he's doing better.
I thought I saw Nick Chubb yesterday leading the stretching. Like, without Deshaun, have you named him?
I did. I made him a season-long captain with Deshaun not out there.
Have you talked to Deshaun since the surgery? Like, where is he? How's he doing?
Yes, he's rehabbing. You know, that's a tough surgery, but he's doing well. He's scooting around the building, so he's gonna, like he always does, he'll attack that thing, attack the rehab.
You plan to stick with DeWanda and left tackle?
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Daryl.
You plan to stay with DeWanda left tackle Sunday?
Well, you know, we have options like we've talked about, so we'll see.
I'm sorry, where is Deshaun right now?
He's here.
Oh, he is here.
Mm-hmm.
Tim, what have you seen from those Chargers tackles? I thought I saw a stat about, like, all had a lot of pressure in the last couple of weeks.
They're very good. They're very talented first-round picks for a reason. Size, length, play with great base, powerful. Very impressed with that group.
Do you anticipate elevating Kadarius Toney for Sunday's game?
We'll see. We have, again, all those roster decisions we'll make in the next few days.
I know we've talked about this a little bit before, but the fact that these guys are only holding teams to 13 points and they both held Kansas City to only 17. How do you approach this game? I mean, do you know you just have to be super aggressive and explosive and all that?
Well, they're holding teams to 13 points for a reason. They're very, very sound. They're very, very physical. They play well situationally. They're good in the red zone. I think they have the fewest snaps in the red zone than anybody. So they're playing at a very, very high level.
How do you see the linebackers respond this week, especially with all the injuries that group has faced?
It's a very tight-knit group, and they're sticking together, obviously, with a couple guys not available, but they push each other, they support each other, so it's a group that wants the best from that whole room, and we have some older guys in there and some younger guys in there, and they are pushing each other.
Did Blake Hudson get hurt in practice today?
Yesterday.
Jordan Hicks at all possibility to play in this game when you throw out the
I'd say with him, it's a day-to-day injury, so just kind of checking in each day, seeing how he's feeling.
Has Deshaun articulated that he's going to battle back and fight back from this injury and try to come back strong?
Of course. I mean, if you know him, you know he's come back from injury before. So that's how he's wired. He's going to work very hard, but that's early on in those surgeries, it's tough because you wait till you can really do anything.
I know linebackers are important every week, but the fact that the Chargers go with a fullback and run it a bunch, like, does that put more stress on the guys, especially missing two of you guys?
Obviously, you miss players when you don't have them in there, but it's important that we play sound defense from the defensive line to the linebackers to the defensive backs. This is a very good offensive unit. Like you mentioned, they play very physical. There's play action, there's the run game, there's screens off of it, so it's a difficult offense to defend.
Kevin, people have been talking all week about obviously the intangibles you have with the Jim Harbaugh coach team. Just how do you see that physicality on the film so far for you?
Yeah, they do a nice job. I mean, I think from their offense, defense, and special teams, they're well coached. They use a fullback as defensive tackle who plays both ways for them. That's something that you've seen from Baltimore over the years. So they can play the guard, pull, power, run game, obviously, but they have a variety of runs to their system, so it's not like they just do one thing.
You have a full complement of running backs available to you this week. How do you feel about how you're going to approach that?
I feel good about that group, Mary Kay. It's good to get Jerome back out there. Obviously, he gives us another dimension to that running back group, but I feel good about those guys.
I wanted to talk a little bit about the conversation you guys had before when he was starting and missed a couple weeks, and just how maybe that kind of benefited him. Just how do you think those 2 weeks off sort of allowed him to, especially with the knee injury he had coming into the season, sort of get himself right?
I think with young players, you're always looking to improve and get better. Sometimes it's you improve when you're playing. Sometimes you improve when you take a week off for whatever the reason is, or maybe you're out due to injury. So I just think he's using every rep every day to just try and get better.
Good.
Okay, thanks, guys.
All right, there you go, Coach Stefanski at the podium there. JOK out, Hicks out, Denzel questionable, the headliners from
everybody
that
else expected to play, which is good because Njoku popped up on the injured report yesterday. Posick was back on the injury report yesterday. So I don't know. I'm glad everybody's back. We'll see what happens with Denzel. I'm assuming he's got to undergo a few more tests.
Got one more day. I mean, that's like someone asked Coach about like the roster moves, and he's like, well, we got a couple of days. I'm like, one.
Yeah.
You got one to kind of figure out. You'll do the walkthrough tomorrow. And
interesting on the Kadarius Toney front. Could we see a Kadarius Toney
It's been so long since acquisition that I sometimes forget that he was on because we assumed he'd play special teams at some point.
Yeah.
And it just hasn't happened.
No.
How are you going to get resolution on your issue with the shot queen?
So, bags of pretzels. She goes, no worries. I'm calling Amazon. This is on. This is
yesterday?
This is Wednesday. So this was Wednesday night.
Okay.
She goes, no worries. I'll order some candy and it'll be delivered. So I get home. She's like, candy's on the front porch. Perfect. Great. Awesome.
Let's go.
I'm excited. I'm going to have a little candy myself.
Sure you are.
Piece for the kids, piece for me.
You don't get
Who
hurt.
gets hurt by that? Yeah. Nobody. Except my wife has already thought that through. And my wife has said, hey, good news. I'm just going to order arguably the worst candy that money can buy because I know my husband will not eat said candy. Strawberry Kit Kats.
Strawberry Kit? I didn't even know they made them.
Yeah, I'm aware. I should have brought some in. I should have just burned the bag last night when I opened it. I was like, what is this? Every candy bar, chocolate. Dark chocolate.
Oh, dark chocolate.
Not
like
chocolate.
milk chocolates.
Dark chocolate. Like not good. I don't need dark chocolate. I don't need it.
No, you need a milk chocolate. Yeah.
Like, she goes, they got Milk Duds. I go, I hate Milk Duds. She goes, well, I like them. I'm like, great. I sent her a text at one point, and I took a picture of the bag, and I said, I want you to know this is grounds for a divorce. What you've done here.
What's just occurred here?
The first kid came, and I said, grab a handful. Here is a bag. Here are 15 bags of mini pretzels. Grab a handful. And I was like, that's not enough. Grab another one.
Take more.
Because this is ridiculous. We had
this
three
is
people.
After looking for my dad tax on the boys' bags, NBC and Bootsy, there's candy strewn everywhere. Beamsy's is categorized in Ziploc bags.
Of course,
M&M's, Snickers, like it's got it all set up. Sweet and sours, gummies, all of it. Each one in a Ziploc bag, so you can just pull it. It's classic, which is so on brand for all three of them. I was really shocked at the lack of diversity in candies. So, not one Reese's Pieces.
Wow,
not one. There, you remember all of those? I don't like. There was a whole line of whether it was Payday or Salted Nut Roll. None of those. There was no like whatchamacallits, none of that. It was a steady diet. And some of those are old school candy bars. I get it, but it was pretty much no Heath bars, no Butterfingers, no Score. It was a steady diet of Snickers, Reese's, M&Ms, peanut M&Ms, Skittles.
Like basically the bag where you can buy 5 different kinds of candy,
right?
And someone just
the variety.
Every
house bought the same lineup. So there just wasn't those. There's an Acme. Where we live that has an aisle that just has like old school candy, and I might just go in there and buy like one of each and maybe just have Bootsy try candies he's never tried before to just see how he thinks of them.
You can't take him because it would be debauchery at its finest. You can't take him to B.A. Sweetie.
No. He's been there. I mean, when he was little, he has no recollection of it.
You can bring the candy to him.
Yeah, I can't.
Like, go shopping, bring the candy to him.
No. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my nephews, I lose money in that place when I go with my nephews.
Yeah, there's no stopping him in there. There's no stopping him. All right, so there you go. We will attempt to do a little over and unders coming up next. You're listening to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Hey, Dog Pound, dig into Wendy's new Browns Biggie Bundle all season long. Score a junior bacon cheeseburger, 4-piece nugs, junior fries, small soft drink, and a small Frosty for just $7. Here we go, Brownies. Grab one from any participating Wendy's for a limited time. As we go around the sports world, Marty Schottenheimer named one of 9 semifinalists to the Pro Football Hall of Fame in the coaching category. From the Modern Hall of Fame press release, reduction votes are also occurring in the modern era players and senior categories. Eventually, 20 finalists will be presented at the selection committee's annual meeting next year in advance of the Super Bowl. 15 modern era players, 3 seniors, 1 coach, and 1 contributor. So this is the same list. I saw Kubiak and Shanahan's on this list. Dan Reeves is on this list. Mike Shanahan, not Kyle. You also have on this list, this is the art list, right?
This is the art list.
Yeah. Clay's on this list, right? He advanced. Clay Matthews advanced.
Clay did advance.
Yeah.
Knock on wood.
You know, the thing that's interesting is when you go to the hall, there's no designation. There's no designation that tells you that you are a first ballot hall or you're a Veterans Committee hall. They all go in together, and when you look at the bus, there's no way of differentiating one from the other.
Correct.
They all are just Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
And this like Deion Sanders talked about this a couple of years ago. There should be the elevated hall of it. Oh, hello, sir.
It should be, if there was a game to be played, the starting offense and the starting defense and special teams of that game.
Would you allow for, once you make the starting offense or defense, you stay in that area? In other words,
if you were ever in that,
if you were ever in it, you stay in it.
Then you stay in it.
Like, you're not taking Joe Green out. You're not taking Otto Graham out. They stay in it. They stay in that game.
If Aaron Donald replaces a defensive tackle that was in there, that guy
stays up.
He stays in that room. If you were ever considered at any point in time to be in the greatest game ever, you stay there.
You stay up there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like it. Right, I think it'd be a fun thing.
I was trying, having been there so often, I'm trying to think how you could do that, because they have that main bust hall, which is so cool, where it's done like by year. Like how could, like, then it would almost have to be like a step up. They actually have a step up from there that right now has like the game worn stuff. Like Joe's stuff's been in there, and Josh Gordon's stuff's been in there.
Yeah, big moments. If there's a moment that happens,
within the last
stuff immediately
year or
goes
two,
to the
they
hall.
put it in that area.
The hall of bus, what's above it? Just ceiling?
Yeah, because
so
it's on the second floor.
Maybe you go up, and you could have like a special like glass in the middle, glass cylinder elevator, so you could go up and you come into it, and they have it set like a stadium, and you have the offense and defense bus on the field, and then when you come out of that, you then go into the crowd. If you get out of that game, but you're still there,
that would be pretty great. By the
looks of it,
that's a great idea.
By
the looks of it down there, and I'll be down there all weekend doing lacrosse. They've got a lot of stuff they're building.
Yeah,
so we could maybe
add it
push
to the
that
list.
right in.
What do you mean you have lacrosse?
They do. It's called Graveyard. So it's like this fall lacrosse tournament where it's like a Halloween tie-in, and so they have like
another way to take your money.
Take your money, yeah. So I have to be down there by 8 a.m. both days, Saturday and Sunday. All 3 boys are playing. Yeah, buckle in.
Is it with their respective teams, or is it?
It's from kids from our town, but they are. They're much smaller. It's like small ball field, so it's like 7-on-7 instead of normal. And it's the games are pretty quick. They're constantly moving. It's really fun to watch. But it could turn into a situation where if one of them makes a run, and I think at least 2 of them have a chance to make a run, I could be there till 4 o'clock both days pretty easily. So
Sunday, not awful. Weather is going to be okay. Tomorrow, a little chilly.
Yeah, Bootsy at 10 a.m. is not going to be ideal down there.
No,
he's not going to be thrilled to be a part of it. No, he's not. He's not going to be.
No, Marty's got I think it's tough this year for Marty given the guys that are in that group, but the fact that he's being considered is great because I love Marty.
It's so hard because it's kind of like this way with Clay a little bit too, and there's other guys around the country that there are examples of these guys who have gotten in over the years, and you go, well, wait a second. Did he really merit that? Or because one of my big beefs is the amount of, and this has nothing to do with the fact that it's Pittsburgh. It has nothing to do with that. It's just the fact of you can't tell me everybody who played on the 70s Steelers was a Hall of Famer.
Right.
Like, it's just too many. And that some places were vastly underrated. And, like, for example, like the 70s Broncos had, like, nobody. They finally got Gradisher in this last year, but, like, a lot of – they weren't represented at all. There's all these teams that were not represented properly because they gave so much credit to any team that won a Super Bowl. You can't tell me that everybody who played offensive football for Pittsburgh and defensive football for Pittsburgh in the 70s is a Hall of Famer.
I'm pretty sure, and when they kind of, they do that with some of those Legends classes or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the last time I was there was a guy from the Steelers from those teams, and forgive me, I mean, those happened before I was born, so I'm not that upset about it, but that I'd never even heard of.
Yeah.
That got put in.
Yeah, that type of stuff. So it's like those teams that win Super Bowls got so much. And the Steelers, the 70s Steelers are like the most well-represented group of any team. I mean, it's way more than the 80s Niners, who won as many Super Bowls, certainly. And so I don't know what they're going to do with the Patriots because there aren't that many Hall of Fame players on those teams.
Right.
I mean, Randy didn't win a Super Bowl there. Harrison got in. Obviously, Tom will. Gronk will. But like Edelman probably shouldn't.
No.
No,
I don't think.
Like, there were a lot of really good players.
Right, but it wasn't like – but for Pittsburgh, and I wasn't alive at that time, but you can't – again, you just can't tell me their whole linebacking core, all their safeties, their defensive line, most of their offensive line, both receivers. They're all Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
They should have won 9 Super Bowls in that time. We got a big one tomorrow. Buckeyes and Nittany Lions, both Fox and Game Day will be there live. I've had a lot of people ask me this in respect to this game and did 3 full hours on it this morning. But the one thing I would say is the thing that makes this one a little bit different. I think the loser of this game, either way, is still in the playoff.
Really?
Because I think they're going to win out. I think Ohio State will win out. And if they were to lose, I don't think they will. But if they were, they would win out at 10-2 and they'd be in. They wouldn't get a home playoff game. They wouldn't get a bye. And they'd have to chase their season. And Monday would be very uncomfortable in Columbus. But if they were to lose, I do still think 10-2 Ohio State makes the playoff. And Penn State's undefeated. So if they lose at home to Penn State, and that's their only loss, they're 11-1. They're a playoff team. And they might even host a home game in the playoff if they get in. So in that sense, it loses a little bit. This is my favorite game since I've been around 07, since I've been around Ohio State football. The Penn State game is my favorite game because the Michigan game for a lot of it was not competitive. It's been competitive the last half decade. But for much of the early time when I was here, it was not. No. This Penn State game, even though Ohio State's won a gross many more of these games than Penn State has, largely you get a great game. And their atmosphere over there is the best in the Big Ten, especially when it's at night. It is the most SEC-like atmosphere. And what I mean by that, it's in the middle of nowhere. And you see people on Fridays in RVs start to pull into that place. There's no hotels. There's no place to stay. So there's all these RVs. It's a sea of RVs as far as you can see. It's awesome. And their stadium's the loudest I've ever been in, period.
This whole TV reworking in college football has screwed this game. This game should be at night.
Yeah.
Yes.
The Big Ten, most especially Penn State and Ohio State, should say this is an 8 o'clock game.
Period.
And if that means that Fox, if you want this game, then you broadcast it in prime time.
Yeah.
And Fox can. They don't have the World Series. That's done. So they can do it. And this needs to be a night game. And it's a great tradition as a night game. And without it being a night game, there will be a little bit of luster lost off of it.
It is an amazing atmosphere. I got to call Paterno's 200th or 300th win.
That's awesome.
They beat Bowling Green.
Yeah.
Wow. And I remember, we had to stay 45 minutes outside night before. It's a 2-lane road, or it might be 4 lanes now. I don't know.
It was 2 when the last time I was there was 14, and it was 2 then.
Okay, so then it had to still be 2. And I remember the guy at the hotel when we checked in was like, "Y'all you kick off at noon. You have to leave here by 6 a.m. Because by 8 a.m. you could still be sitting there at noon."
Oh, yeah.
We were there 5 hours before kick with nothing to do.
No, because it's very rural.
Yeah.
It is. It's beautiful.
And it's an awesome atmosphere.
Never been there.
There's nothing the NFL doesn't have places like that.
Yeah.
Where
is it in the state?
Completely in the middle.
Yep.
There's nowhere you can't get there easily. From here, you take the turnpike. You can't get there easily. Gibby's right. I've been there twice. Both times I stayed at a truck stop motel alongside the turnpike. Some of the beat people will go from Columbus will go through Pittsburgh and stay in Altoona. So that happens a little bit. But once you're in, you're in. But the tailgate scene's incredible. And then the stadium is it's an erector set and it's just built like this. So the sound stays in. Yeah. And it's 106,000, 107,000 and straight up.
And they are into it from the get-go.
Jump.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's not like some stadiums where everybody arrives at the end of the first quarter.
No.
They are there when the team runs out of the tunnel to the end.
Yeah, it's awesome. And they have a bunch of stuff that they have scripted. They do that wild, the Nittany Lion scream thing that they do.
Yeah, I know.
The entry song is awesome. And then they do like Sweet Caroline, and they do Living on a Prayer, and they crush it. The whole stadium sings it. It's awesome. It's really great. It's really great. I think Ohio State will win because James Franklin is 1-12 against top 5 teams. Ryan Day's lost 5 of his last 6 against top 5 teams, and I know that he's feeling the pressure.
Something's got to give.
I think he needs it, but I think Franklin. I think Ryan Day actually needs it more, even though Franklin has never wins these type of games. Because I don't know that Penn State people. I think sometimes I want more of their program.
Different.
I want more of Penn State than Penn State wants out of Penn State.
That's why I put in the question: is James Franklin ever going to be on a hot seat?
No,
as long as he wins 9 to 10 games every year.
I think my feeling, talking to folks friends of mine like Dave Jones at the Penn News and Rich Scarcella, the Reading Eagle. My feeling talking to those guys is, and even buddies of mine who are Penn State alumnus, is like, we really don't want to go to like Nebraska levels. Like this guy wins 10 games. I mean, think about this. When they redid the Big Ten, you could keep up to 3 games as rivalry games. So Ohio State gets the letter from the Big Ten and said the Big Ten. Then Ohio State says, "Well, Michigan and Penn State, protect those.
Yep,
those are the games we have to play. We've got to play Michigan. We've got to play Penn State.
Yep.
Penn State turned in an empty card, and they said we don't have to play Ohio State or Michigan. In fact, we don't want to. So this will be the last time that Ohio State goes to Penn State, and it's the longest consecutive streak Big Ten games they've played. They played Penn State for 32 straight seasons.
Wow. Last time ever?
Because hold on, the Michigan game was skipped at the COVID year in 2020, so you didn't play Michigan in 2020. So 32 years since they played Penn State. They play over there this year. Penn State's in Columbus next year, and then Penn State's off the schedule until 29 at the earliest, maybe 30, because Penn State didn't want to play Ohio State or Michigan. Mr. Zagura.
If Ohio State, who is the franchise, says we're playing Michigan and Penn State every year, they should be playing Michigan and Penn State every year.
Up until the hiring of the new athletic director, Ross Bjork, there's never been anybody at Ohio State who has that attitude. Ohio State's attitude with the Big Ten is, yes, we're the big brother, but we're lovable. We'll take care of all of you. That's why
franchise.
Ohio State didn't play USC this year. That's why they only played Oregon. It's why they're not playing Washington. And that's why all of this has happened. And now they got a guy down there who's going to flex.
Their schedule needs to be all of the best teams.
Correct.
And then you give them a couple cupcakes because they're going to draw anyway. But no, they need to every year. And all of those teams should be playing each other. It's the Jabron teams
the SEC
you don't worry about.
Play the hits. What I always say about the SEC. The SEC played the hits. The Big Ten didn't.
I just don't understand. And Michigan,
and it's a bad job out of Penn State, by the way, to say we're unrivaled. We don't play. No.
So Michigan had us, Ohio State, and Michigan State.
And Michigan State,
of course. But I mean, they probably didn't even have to say Michigan State. Of course, they're playing Michigan State.
And I think I should. I'll have to talk to a buddy of mine up there who covers Michigan. But I think Michigan put Penn State too. I think Michigan said we want to play Michigan State, Ohio State,
and Penn State.
Yeah. Those.
It should just. It should start.
But if you're not
with,
playing, if you don't think Ohio State's a rivalry game, if you're Penn State, and I know Ohio State's 22-8
then
since
what are you
they've been
doing?
in the league against them, but what are you doing? What do you aspire to be? Do you aspire to be Minnesota?
You're gonna go play,
what are you trying to do?
Going to play Maryland every year?
Play Maryland and Rutgers and play in front of 42,000 people? Like, what are we doing? I mean, this is a big 33 game. This goes back 100 years. That's why we hate the Steelers. It's a neighboring state. It's Ohio and Pennsylvania. Come on.
It's a recruiting battle.
I don't understand. And you obviously said that it's because there's the new guy that's there. I don't understand. Who was the athletic director at this time?
Now or then? Gene Smith.
Gene Smith
for 20-plus years.
Dude, you walk in there, you pound the table and say, we're the franchise. These are the marquee games. They must be on the schedule, period. And if not, maybe we'll go to the SEC and play the hits.
When I interviewed Ross Bjork in August, I've had him on several times before in the mornings, but I met him in person for the first time, and I saw him last weekend when we were down there. And I said much of the things that you just said, and he said, I agree, and that's what we're going to do. And he started talking about a $300 million
college football
department, all this stuff. And I said, do you mind if I hug you? Because this is all I've ever thought Ohio State should be. Ohio State should be Real Madrid. They should be the Dallas Cowboys. They should be the New York Yankees. They should be the big behemoth.
But they are.
They are, but they don't act like it. Now this guy, they're going to act like
I would imagine that Alabama and probably in recent history Georgia act like that in the SEC.
Well, Texas acts like it. Florida acts like it. LSU acts like it. Yeah. You got to be Notre Dame. You have to be that. You have to advocate for yourself. Ohio State's way over the last 20 years has been advocating for the lifting of the league versus the lifting of Ohio State. So I think that'll change, though, going forward.
When your top program is at the highest of levels, it elevates everybody.
Mm-hmm. That's what Urban did. When Urban went there, it forced everybody to lift facilities. Everybody started. That's why Illinois has a chance right now with Bielema, because they put a bunch of money into the facilities.
You said something during the college football segment. We didn't have enough time, and I don't know if we have enough time now, but I'm going to just ask it anyway. Because of the portal, you said that it's become more competitive. And
idea if we can.
You're listening to 850 ESPN Cleveland.
A good Karma brand station.
WKNR.
Intellectually, to me, the portal would actually have the opposite effect in that everybody who was good on a smaller school is going to get zapped up to a big school. But what we've seen in practice is that that's not the case. And is it because people who are at big schools that weren't playing are now leaving to go to smaller schools? And that's elevating the talent of them?
It's almost, I think what it is places like Ohio State and Alabama and Georgia and Ole Miss and Texas and Oregon and those places, they went and poached other like talent from other teams of their ilk. Take Indiana, for example. Indiana went and got the quarterback from Ohio, Curtis Rourke, and he's awesome. Ohio State wasn't getting the quarterback from Ohio. They went and thought they had to get the quarterback from Kansas State. Dylan Gabriel went from Oklahoma to Oregon. So, they stayed there. And there was, I think, the same kid, the kid who's at Vandy, who I think was at New Mexico, I think he was at New Mexico, who's at Vandy now, who's got a win over Alabama and a damn near win over Texas. They missed. I shouldn't say they missed. They got the right guys. Dylan Gabriel's been awesome. Will Howard's been really good. But there was maybe not a full appreciation of what a 22 or 23-year-old guy who's been at a MAC school and is a 3-year starter, how valuable that is and how good they are as college quarterbacks. They're not pros, but from a college standpoint, they got 30 starts or 35 starts under their belts. And you put them into a relatively capable offense, and they're more than capable of running it. And I think that's what's happened. And that's why there aren't blowouts week to week like we're used to seeing this time of year. There isn't the separation. It's how Nebraska can come in and give Ohio State a full day.
So you're saying like a guy, I'm just going to throw a name out there that I remember from the past as a Matt Corbett, Zach Dysert, who did go to league, but he would have left Miami and gotten brought into.
He might have ended up at Purdue.
Right.
Not Ohio State.
Right.
That type of thing.
But that helps Purdue.
Yeah, and then that lifts them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's my theory on what's
because it's interesting, and I even think about Arizona, obviously, which is a school I always pay some modicum of attention to. Like McMillan, him staying there, they have probably a first-round left tackle, and they have a first-round receiver. To me, I'm shocked that they're still there.
Yeah.
That they're not.
It could have been a situation, though, too, where and I don't have no idea if this is what happened, but maybe it's a situation where Arizona had a couple of boosters that said, hey, Jed went to Washington, but we'll give you $1.5 million each to stay here because they're worth more to Arizona than they are to other schools.
Yeah.
That could have been, too, because that stuff's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was unaware of this. Jared Luganbill, who I follow for Ohio high school stuff, said, look what happened to the Big 33 game. Pennsylvania picked up their ball and went home. So they don't play that anymore?
I guess
not. I mean, he would know. I don't.
I thought that was still a thing, but I guess not.
Yeah, that was – I mean, look, there has been in the last 25 years an incredible drop-off of talent in Pennsylvania in high school football. It's just not what it used to be in the 70s and in the 80s. It's not. And Ohio's kind of stayed similarly. It's a little drop-off, but stayed similarly to what it was. So I guess from that standpoint, it makes some sense. All right, we will do a little higher – no. What are we going to do?
We're doing over-unders.
We're doing over-unders. Finish making a little over-unders coming up next. You're listening to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Fill your game day cooler with the refreshing taste of Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea, smooth, real brewed tea with a 5% kick of alcohol. Look for the bright yellow cans. Twisted Tea, keep it twisted. Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly. Time for a little over or under.
Yeah.
All right, so behind the curtain, Z, we had to look it up. You were convinced that there was some sort of clerical error. And
no,
so
I
you
was
put
just,
the G-man on it.
Yeah. I'm just shocked that I said what I said.
I can't believe the words that are coming out of my mouth.
I couldn't. In the booth, I was celebrating. I'm like, all right, at least I got Lamar.
You got one right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he, ironically enough, and you may not remember this, but we were obviously focused on a great many other things. But Gibbe was like, but I got the Derrick Henry one. So we thought we had split those.
You did not. Gibbe, a robust 4-1.
Jeez.
Take a victory lap. Gibbe improving to 22-19 overall now on the year. Dr. Z, 1-4, and now 19-22 on the season.
Beautiful thing. Beautiful thing.
All right, gentlemen. Gibbe, we start with you with your over-unders. We're looking for a pass yardage number on Justin Herbert, a pass yards accumulated Justin Herbert. Very tepid early, but he has been more robust of late. The number we are looking for on Justin Herbert is 255.5.
I'm going under that number.
Under.
Denzel's going to make an appearance. Maybe.
255.5.
He's averaging 288 the last three. I think that we will come out to try to stop J.K. Dobbins.
Mm-hmm.
That offensive line scares me.
I happen to think Herbert is very good. What was it?
255.5.
Gibbe, if it was 249.5, would you still go under?
I don't know. I have like that 240, 250 thing.
Let's just change it to 249.5.
No, we're going to keep it at 255.5.
And I'm going to go over.
You're going to go over? All right. You were hoping for the 250 is what you were looking for.
249.5.
No
faith. Would have done it. 255.5.
But he said he was fine with it.
It doesn't matter what he says.
Because you guys are a team.
He's not. Well,
this is what happens. Last week you guys teamed up, and he goes 4-1.
The real turning of the tide is when I said Gibbe.
Yes.
Yep.
You've changed everything.
The under.
That changed all the vibes. I gave him all the vibes. gave him all the joy.
It's hurtful, to be honest with you.
It is. Who would have saw it coming?
Not
it's incredible
me.
betrayal.
It is.
Next.
Over, under.
Jameis, passing yards, baby. Much more robust defense this week than what you faced last week. Dr. Z, the number we're looking for on Jameis Winston is 245.5. If there's this type of thought, that means the number is a good number.
And I'm in his head. It's only week 9, and I can't be living rent-free already.
245.
245.5.
So the most they've given up was week 1 was 257 to Gardner Minshew. I think it's going to be tough sledding against them. I'll go over.
Gibbe?
I'm going under.
Oh, baby. Jeez. Next.
Over, under.
Fantasy points accumulated.
Oh, God.
Fantasy points accumulated. PPR. Standard PPR.
I'm not even in fantasy this year. I don't know.
I've never done a PPR league, so I guess we're even.
All right. This benefits
Judy
somebody.
And Chubb, over, under, Dobbins and McConkey.
Hey, I see the grin on his face. I don't even have to look at him. He's so excited.
Clam bake.
Look at him. The vest. Keep the trunk warm. You keep the trunk warm.
Stack it. That's it.
Let's go.
Keep the trunk. A little of this. Maybe a little fall.
What is your answer?
With cider. Maybe a little warm cider. A little pinch of bourbon in the bottom. Who gets hurt?
I'm going with our guys.
All right, so you're going over.
I think the defense comes to play on Mr. Dobbins on Sunday.
Over for Gibbe.
I will take the Chargers because it's PPR.
So you're going under.
No love.
This is going to be a crazy week. You guys have been opposite on every single one thus far. Next.
Over, under.
All right, we are looking for the sacks plus interceptions plus fumbles recovered, and the number we are looking for.
I lost this last week, right? I think I lost this.
You only got one wrong, Gibbe.
I know. I think this is the one I lost.
No, you got this.
Yeah, you got this.
You've gotten this you've gotten it 3 out of the last 4.
You went under? You didn't think we were going to get Gibbe.
All right, Gibbe.
Did you watch Lamar
The
last
number is 3.5.
I feel like that's the number every week.
Nah. So we've had some 5.5s.
We even had a 2.5 once.
We did have a 2.5 once.
Oh, was last week 2.5?
Last week was 3.5. I'm pretty sure.
It was 3.5 last week. That's why I remember.
Under.
Yeah.
And we had 3 sacks in the first half.
Yeah, and you think, we're cruising.
Cruising.
Not. 3.5.
Z?
This is you, Dr. Z.
Oh, it is. It is me.
Yeah.
Under.
Gibbe?
No faith. Over.
Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Next. This is
Over, under.
This is
separation week.
This is our pets' heads are falling off edition of Over-Unders. All right, the actual, Gibbe, this one to you, 41.5.
By the way, I hope Gibbe's right because
then
we're winning.
Slump City
yes.
if Gibbe's
so
right.
I'm happy to go 0 for 5.
41.5.
Oh. I'll take the over.
You have to, based on what you. Right?
I could take the under and just totally.
I'm going to take the under.
What's he taking?
He's taking the under. You guys, this is the first time maybe in the history of Over-Unders.
This is the first time.
That you went opposite on all 5.
Maybe I should have done this before in times past. But
I'll tell you. I will tell you. That's a pretty good job out of the Over-Under administrator if you get an opposite.
Cheers to the house.
Yeah, the house. Yeah. House. Hey. Come on. House.
The 10% VIG, you won. You've already won.
Z doesn't feel good about this. I can tell the joy isn't there. He does not feel good about this.
I do feel pretty good about it, actually.
Right. Here we go.
We'll see.
Your keys to the game and your Sunday forecast coming up next. You're listening to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. OBM, the preferred provider of copiers and document services for your Cleveland Browns. They'll tackle any size office at 216-485-2000 or visit ohiobusinessmachines.com. Your Sunday forecast, Huntington Bank Field on Sunday, 61, partly cloudy, and away we go. Is there any rain or just kind of breezy and
could be
overcast-ish?
Could be.
Kind of what we're looking at. That feels like Ohio football weather.
Yeah, Gibbe, do you have an update on the Gibbe Doppler?
Do I have an update on what? I'm sorry?
Sunday's weather. Yeah, I'm seeing, down to 25% chance.
Yeah, like every morning this week I've woken up and it's like rain, no rain, rain.
So what happened is the storm that they thought was rolling through Sunday has been pushed. So that'll be here on Monday. I mean, listen to this weird weather we're going to have. You ready?
Yeah.
This is for city of Cleveland. Tomorrow down to 55, then up to 64 on Saturday with clouds. Monday with rain, 73. Tuesday with rain, 76. And then it's a steady down 64, 63, 61, 52.
I feel like that's it for the 70s.
Yeah, we're going to be
yeah,
as it should be.
I think your last 70 is Election Day on the 5th. That's your last 70. And then from there on out,
it should be.
It's down.
No, let's ride this as long as we can.
We've had a hell of an October.
We have.
Come on,
it's been great.
First of all, you mentioned that the Blondes playing Christmas music, which, again, we should all live the way that we want to in the holidays. I love it. But there was a video that was Mariah Carey was like in ice, and there were all these jack-o'-lanterns and pumpkin-headed men around her.
Yeah.
And they, thawed her out, and she's coming out.
And she's ready to go.
Ready to go.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be here. Yeah, it's November 1, kids.
I was offended when I started seeing Old Navy's Christmas ads October 20th. And
Costco did the switch.
Biggest Christmas fan.
For sure.
I'm like Buddy the Elf.
Costco did their switch 2 weeks ago, and I thought, that is aggressive.
Here's the thing.
That's aggressive, I thought, when they went full Christmas 2 weeks ago.
I don't mind going. I'm almost fine with Halloween and that you turn the page to Christmas. Thanksgiving, I feel like, is...
It's part of Christmas. It's part of the lead-up.
It's part of the lead-up, right? It's the official... That, in many people's mind, is the official kickoff. But because there isn't Halloween ends and it's let's throw on the Thanksgiving movies and get fired up for Thanksgiving. I don't even know if there are any Thanksgiving movies.
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, right?
Okay.
I get my stomach ready.
Yeah, so we don't like turkey.
Yeah, we're...
Really?
Yeah,
it's overrated.
That bird's whack.
I don't know why. I only like the turkey at Thanksgiving. I don't like it out of the deli.
That tells you all you need to know.
Have you ever gone... So there are places like the International House of Prime Rib.
Yeah.
Or the just domestic House of Prime Rib. Doesn't matter, really.
Burger joints, taco joints.
There are no turkey places.
A lot of seafood places.
Even Boston Market.
Lots of chicken.
Which has rotisserie. It's chicken.
Yep. Yeah. Because the whole chicken bird's a better bird.
It's a better bird.
It's a better bird, man. I'm going to tell you right now.
It's not. I'm just saying I like turkey.
If everybody threw out...
A nice Cornish hen.
Oh. If everybody went rotisserie chickens instead of turkeys, the meal's better.
Yeah.
By tenfold.
You could even get everybody their own rotisserie chicken. Have at it. You want a couple of drums? You want a couple of thighs?
There's this place on 303 as you're driving into Peninsula coming from the east.
Yes.
Heading towards Winking Lizard and all of that, little downtown Peninsula, where around this time of year the turkeys make their appearance, and then all of a sudden one day they're gone, and you go, oh, all right,
guess
boys.
what the special is?
Guess it's that time of year, fellas.
Yep.
You ready for your keys?
I am ready.
Let's do it.
Why not?
Keys to the game. Dr. Z.
Well, if we're talking over-unders, no, I'm kidding. All right, the keys to this one, I think really it's going to start with, this is a game where I don't like to go back to these things because it's cliche, but we haven't done it in a long, long time. This is going to be about which team wins the turnover battle.
It is. You're right.
That's the story of this team, of this season, really, and the reason that the Chargers are 4-3 is that they are +6 in the turnover differential. The reason that the Browns, and for some, well, there are many reasons, but one of them also they are -4 in the turnover differential. So that's going to be the first one. Which team can take care of the football or maybe change the game by taking the football away from their opponent? That's going to be number one. Number two, this is going to be a game about third downs. When the Chargers have the ball, you are talking about the number 9 third down offense led by Justin Herbert against the number 3 third down defense. When the Browns have the ball, you're talking about, unfortunately, still the last ranked third down offense in the league against the 5th ranked third down defense. Which team can stay on the field G-Man.
In a sweatsuit.
In a sweatsuit. In the
orange on top, brown on the bottom.
Is this a G?
Got a box or
That's
something?
A G.
Look at the G-Man. There he is.
Orange is in right now, by the way, is a upper body decor.
You said it.
So I think that's two. And then the third is going to be chunk plays.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to out-chunk play them. The Browns don't have a 40-yard play, and then you cannot let them chunk play you, whether that's to Josh Palmer, who's averaging 16.2 yards a catch, or for Hoku, who's averaging 17.7. You can't let them chunk play you. This feels like a game that could end up being between Cameron Dicker and Dustin Hopkins. A lot of field goals, and it all ties in. Take care of the ball. Don't give up any short fields, and then take the ball away and try to get yourself a short field. Third downs, possess the football. This feels like a game where Jim Harbaugh is going to try to squeeze the football and have it come down to a play here or there that they feel like they can be on the right side of. That's what it's going to be. That's what it's all about. So those are the three keys. If you can win the turnover battle, if you can be the better team on third down, period, for the game, offensively and defensively, and then if you can hit a couple of big plays but limit their explosives, I think it'll be difficult for them to really kind of walk the ball down the field on the Cleveland Browns.
There you go. Boost your game day this season with the Ballybet Sportsbook app. Place your first bet at $25. You get $150 back in bonus bets. Ballybet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. A little segment we like to call Pay Attention to the Scores.
Oh, baby.
Coming up next, you'll listen to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Browns fans, check out Vivid Seats' official fan experience packages for this season's home games. So you purchase seats in the Vivid Seats Terrace experience. You also score pregame field passes, all-inclusive food and beverage, and more. Visit vividseats.com today to learn more. Time for a little segment we like to call Do Pay Attention to the Scores.
14 games over 500, baby. And actually, when you add that in there, we're now 16 games over 500. Robust.
We're back.
We're back, baby.
We'll find out.
Bishop red hot. That Hansel's so hot right now. Hansel.
That Hansel. What a name.
Hansel. Oh, man. That's a great. The outtakes from Zoolander with Will Ferrell is Jacobin Mugatu are all-time.
All-timers.
Yeah. All-time.
Yep. You don't see that one as much. I don't see it in like.
Should be. It's
should
incredible.
Be in the mix, yeah. That's great.
My guess is it probably is not as. Some of the humor is probably not as well received. And it should play down at the security desk on a loop.
Well.
Scores, Gibby. Scores.
Yep, week 9 in the National Football League. 100 days from today, kids. Super Bowl.
Wow.
Think about that. Wrap your head around that. Week 9 in the National Football League. Let's get right down to it. The Dallas Cowboys are 0-3 at home, but they are 3-1 away from home. Cowboys visiting the Falcons, who are 2-3 at home on the football season. Everybody's better on the road, it feels like. Trevon Diggs calf tear, according to Jerry Jones.
Yeah.
There you go.
So that was a couple hours ago. Cowboys at Falcons. Nathaniel, you're up this week to lead us off.
I haven't liked the Falcons this much since the days of Jeff George. I just love this team. They're going to get it done here. They could win this one big, especially with all the injuries on the defense.
God
bless you.
Thank you. Falcons, 9,000. Jera, 1.
Yeah, here's the thing, folks. The score on this is such that they always inflate it to protect against the Dallas bettors because they come in waves late. So the fact that it's this tells me all I need to know. I like Atlanta large in this one, very, very large in this one. Falcons by, I believe the technical term is $1 billion.
Let's go, baby.
Up next, Lamar Jackson back at practice today.
This is a big change in number.
Yep.
It's a big change in the
score. Ratbirds are hosting Denver. The Ratbirds need this.
In whose direction?
Denver's.
They're getting more than they were previously?
They're getting less.
Fewer.
Previously, yeah.
That's why I thought it was the 9er.
I think it was either a 9er or a
9.5.
I think earlier this week it may have even been a 10.5er. But I think it was 9.5 when we did scores yesterday.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it has consistently trended a certain direction. Bo Bishop.
Well, I really liked it. 9.5.
The other one.
I really liked the other score a little bit better.
Maybe. Listen, I'm looking right here. This still has 9.5. I think we can. This is active on CBS. I think we can award ourselves the 9.5.
Well, then
we go off of the one that we go off of every week, kids. So whatever it is, that's what it is.
Let me turn his microphone off. This is
all
what
you have to do is have him make fun of you, and then the mic will be turned off because you'll forget to turn it on.
In the business, for those who are loud, not us, you shop the lines.
Shop the lines, baby. I like the Ravens winning this one, but this just screams 31-24.
Same. And we're gonna have on my records because we're able to get it in the
official transcript.
Yes,
I like it. 9.5.
Yep.
The Raiders head east, 2-6 on the year. Ugh. Just disgusted. They are in northern Kentucky to battle the Bengals. Bengals are 0-4 at home. T. Higgins, Orlando Brown, and now Zach Moss, all three doubtful for the Bengals.
Brown.
Oh my gosh.
Nathan.
So here's the thing. Joe Burrow's playing great football, but I don't know if he knows who he is anymore. He says he doesn't like to dress up. There are many photos to the contrary.
There are.
And now he may say that's fashion and not a costume, but
yeah, same.
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
I agree.
Still, though, they need a kind of a statement-y game. There's a lot of unrest down there. I think they're going to get it here. Bengals 10. Vegas -12.
I see it similarly. They're 3 wins. Us by 7. A bad Giants team 17-7, and then they beat the Panthers by 10. It screams that to me. I like the Bengals 24-14.
To the AFC East we go. Buffalo is 6-2. The second place team are the Jets at 3-6. Buffalo playing host to the Miami Dolphins. Dolphins 2-5. Tua's back. Tyreek will play in this game. Amari Cooper will be a game-time decision with a wrist, Bo Bishop.
Now, this one opened up at 3 and is now 6.
Yeah. I don't know.
There isn't.
I don't know what would there. I don't know. There's anything on the Miami side injury-wise that I've seen.
No,
I haven't seen anything.
Irregardless, probably the most disappointing loss of last week was Miami. And to me, Mike McDaniel, we like him. Quirky little press conferences. I feel like chips are pushed in. I like Buffalo by 1 billion.
This one's got all the feels. It's 30-18.
Oh, no.
Game's over. Tyreek Hill's like, dude, I've become the worst fantasy receiver in the league.
By the way, Zach Seiler and Javon Holland both probably will not play for the Dolphins. But that's the only thing from
3 points.
That's not 3 points, no.
In case if we find something out, like a Tyreek Hill or a Tua or a Waddle, then I'll switch sides. But for now, I think this is ripe for
little back door.
It's Tua at the back door.
There he is.
He's gonna hawk it right on up there to my guy Tyreek Hill. It's gonna be a touchdown, and it's gonna be Bills 30, Dolphins.
That's a good job.
25.
That's a great job out of you. Well played. Well done. Well done.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you this week's Inmate Game of the Week. The New England Patriots are 2-6 on the road in Nashtucky to take on the 1-6 Tennessee Titans. Nathan Zagura. Yep. Don't need to spend much time.
This would be run as far away in the real world.
I'm with you. Yeah.
Because
this is I can't choose the wine in front of you, and I clearly can't choose the wine in front of me.
I don't even really know what to make of this one. Now, the Patriots are coming off of a solid victory. They were challenged by their coach, and they've done it. And by the way, I'm seeing here 3 and a hook for those keeping score at home. I don't trust the Titans. So in this one, I think it's a toss-up. Give me the points, and let's see what happens. The Patriots. Titans 11, Patriots 10.
Patriots 5, Titans 1.
Solid baseball score.
Yep.
Yeah.
Onward we go to Carolina, a huge matchup in the NFC South. And by huge, I mean runner-up to the Inmate Game of the Week. The New Orleans Saints haven't won a game since week 2. They're 2-6. They're on the road visiting the 1-7 Carolina Panthers. Oh, wait, here comes the cavalry. Derek Carr will play for New Orleans on Sunday. Bo Bishop.
Here are the scores in Carolina's losses: 47-10, 26-3, 34-24. Dalton game. Then the Dalton newness wears off. 36-10, 38-20, 40-7, and 28-14. There is no back door that they can walk in. It does not exist. Derek Carr's back. That solves it. Saints 31, Panthers 7.
How flattering must it be for Derek Carr that he's worth 6 points? This one opened up at 1. I mean, there's a huge arbitrage opportunity if people were in on this in the early going.
Is he also not a bit underrated as a player?
I think so, yes.
I think he's very capable. Like, he's not a star, but he's very capable.
Agreed. And he can have some big games.
Yeah, and I think in the right system, you could win like 10, 11 games with him.
Yeah, and he's done it.
He's done it.
Z, did you make a pick?
Did we? Did I?
I did.
You did.
You did
Z,
not.
you did not.
Agree.
Same.
It was already written. Sorry.
There we go.
It was already written.
To the NFC East we go. Commies 6-2 on the year, 2-2 away from that dump of a football stadium. They go to another dump. New Jersey take on the 0-4 at home G-Men. They are 2-6. They've lost 3 in a row. Nathan.
I'm a big Jaden Daniels guy. This feels Commies by a billion. It's probably going to end up being 3, but that's how I feel about it right now. Commies 100, Giants 5.
I think
Dable hot seat.
The momentum
coming off of
the
that
Hail Mary. I think Commies.
So we have right now
only one difference so far.
Miami. Buffalo.
This happened early, and lots of times we see the early window similarly.
We do.
Thoughts and prayers, Bo.
Yep.
To the 4 o'clock games we go.
Never had a losing season.
The Chicago Bears are 4-3. 4-0 at home. 0-3 away. Is that right?
It seems like it.
Well, we know what a tough place it is to play down in. It's worked out when I said that.
Bears visiting Arizona.
Yeah.
Zona's 4-4.
Arizona's just beating the Chargers and the Dolphins in back-to-back.
Arizona's back to being more than frisky. They're atop that division at this point. Got a couple of wins back-to-back, and I do think there's real damage in how Chicago lost. And I don't know, as much as I enjoyed Matt Eberflus on training day or whatever it's called, 2-a-day. What's it called?
Hard Knocks.
Hard Knocks. Yes, I got a lot. My synapses are firing in a lot of directions. I don't know that he's a follow me to freedom guy. So it strikes me as that there could be a little bit of effects. The effects positively helping Washington, negatively helping Chicago. I like Arizona outright by a field goal.
What's odd to me about it is it feels like if you were saying in my mind's eye, I'd probably see Arizona as a multiple point favorite, and they're not.
I don't know. Chicago's defense is pretty good, and I mean they had them on the road. They
almost
Hail
beat the
Mary,
Commanders in Washington.
Yeah, no, they're good. I think that's why the line is what it is.
And I thought they played about as badly as they could in that one. The Bears.
Oh God,
rebound. By the way, so you guys are. I think we talked about it right on the Sunday night, the Football Night in America snafu. Did we? Where they played the highlight of.
You told me this. Okay. I don't think you told it on the air.
Oh. So on Sunday night, on Football Night in America, when they're doing the highlights, they showed the highlight of the Commanders' walk-off Hail Mary against the Bears.
Yeah.
And afterwards, Maria Taylor is the host, right?
Yeah.
She said, and that was the play call from Andrew Siciliano and Nathan Zagura. So I heard my name, and I'm like, wait a second. I just heard my name. So I go back and watch it. So my guess is they were going to play maybe our final call honoring Jim, because she obviously had to have that on a card, and then maybe they ran out of time and made a last-second switch
while they were on the air because their pregame show starts at 7.
So I wonder if they made a late switch. That was probably going to be the call of the game was going to be you guys, and they flipped it to that with the Hail Mary.
So
she didn't get the new copy.
No, so she says, so I go, wait a sec, rewind it, and sure enough, that is what she said. And I get a text from my good friend who happens to be a huge Bears fan, and a celebrity of note says, "You called that garbage?" And I was like, "No,
I did
I
not."
said, "No, I was talking. I said I do the work for the Browns. You know this." And he was like, he loved it. He thought it was funny. He's like, "Good. I don't want you associated with that." I said, "Well, I appreciated the shout out on national TV."
Yeah, that was nice,
but it was erroneous.
Up next, Doug Peterson returns to Philly, where he won a Super Bowl with the Eagles. Jags 2-6. He's on the hot seat there. That seat's been hot for a while. Jags at Eagles. Nathan.
Do we know if Brian Thomas is playing? Do we have anything on Brian Thomas? If he doesn't have,
G-Man's looking.
That's the big question to me in this one.
Brian Thomas, game time.
Ruh-roh. Got to make a decision.
He'll play.
2 minutes.
What is he?
He's game time.
Game time. Yeah, that's what I feel. 100%. That's a big number. Now they would have covered that on the road against the Bengals, which I think shocked all of us. But I got a soft spot for this Jags team and their ability to score garbage points.
It screams 30-24.
Perfect.
All right, up next, big one, huge one in the NFC North. The Lions. That's right, the Lions have won 5 in a row. Packers have won 4 in a row. Lions
Fun game.
at Lambeau. Cheese curds, beer,
Spotted
of
cow,
good
like
times.
you had in your
spotted
when you
cow.
had your
I
cottage.
had spotted cow in the fridge last night.
Was it a brown spotted?
Gibby's cottage.
Yeah.
Summer cottage.
Oh, man, he had a great time.
Bo
Gibby.
Bishop.
I like the Lions. I like the Lions by at least a touchdown. I think they're just on another level right now. Leos.
Same. That's the same. And I've been a big.
I like the Packers.
I've been a
They're really
Packer
good.
backer, but the Lions are just ferocious.
They are.
Jared Goff's playing at an MVP level. Last night, I even convinced the great Gerard Cherry. We did our top 4 quarterbacks in the league, and I got him to throw Mahomes out right now based on his performance this year for Jared Goff.
Good. It's appropriate.
It's appropriate.
Final afternoon game. It is the Los Angeles Rams visiting Seattle. Puka questionable with a knee. Good news, no structural damage. And Puka questionable for the Rams in Seattle. Nathan.
You feel like there was some magic there, right? You feel like some magic happened?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, boy. I'm going to take the Rams to win this one outright, even though I don't feel great about it. This would be a stay away in the real world.
Just ram it.
Sunday Night Football quickly.
Flacco!
Yellowstone's on the road visiting Minneapolis. And the Minnesota Vikings, T.J. Hawkinson is back. Bo Bishop.
One of the great joys of the last couple of years is when the great Joe Flacco sat right here to my right and conducted a 20-minute interview. And it was so fun. And now Indy gets that
Ball
fun.
handling,
all of it. Colts by $1 billion.
Let's go.
I'm going to start the campaign to get T.J. Hawkinson traded to the Dolphins for obvious reasons, but his return is going to be significant.
It will be.
And I think Brian Flores, the way that he plays defense, is going to be able to generate a lot of heat on Flacco, who, while an incredible thrower of the football, does his best work from a clean pocket because he is not as fleet of foot as he once was. I think the Vikings get right here. I think it's a get-right game. Hawkinson goes bananas. Vikes, 30. Colts, 24.
All right, so much more to come. Cleveland Browns Daily, 850 ESPN Cleveland. Sunday, University Hospital's Cleveland Browns Radio Network, 9 a.m. Matt and Gerard on Browns Game Day, 11 a.m. Andy and Tyvis on the kickoff show, 1 o'clock kickoff, Huntington Bank Field. Andrew, Z, and Gerard. I think we're winning.
We're a frisky home underdog. You saw it last week. Let's go. Come on, Browns. 2 in a row.
Browns win. Buckeyes win. I think Buckeyes cover. Let's get out there and live it.
Undefeated.
Stay unbeaten, baby.
Nope.
I'll be there on Monday.
Playing?
No, he's out.
15.
He's out.
Torn oblique.
Keep it rolling. The next level is coming up next. Thanks for listening, everybody. Cleveland Browns Daily, 850 ESPN Cleveland.